As you stand in its mighty presence, you realize there is no hope for
Hi, everyone.
Hi, folks.
I think we're live.
Hi, folks.
Thanks for joining us. So my name's Paddy Finn. I am the CEO of Penny Dragon Games, and we have the pleasure of running Plunder and Lightning for you guys today. And joining us are our players. You'll have to forgive me if I butcher your names, but I believe is it Janina and Marcus?
Janina.
Okay, cool. Was that right?
That was right, yeah.
Okay, awesome. We have Michaela and Boyd also playing. We'll get a little bit of an introduction about the characters in a minute, and maybe some description. But we'll first go into a little bit of a background as to where we're starting. We don't have enough time to do a full one shot, so we're going to do a little bit of an abbreviation at the start, and then kind of jump into the session. So. You guys kind of know each other a little bit starting out on this mini adventure. You have worked together for a mercenary group called the Brown Cloaks. And you maybe pass each other now and then. So you don't really know each other very well, but you're maybe familiar. You've seen each other around. And one day, Captain Grimsworth, your commanding officer, assigned you a task to go to one of the estates. So one of the noble estates on Minehelm, which is quite a large city on the coast. And you guys go to see what the trouble is. And the noble informs you that there has been a lot of noise recently coming from the loft and the attic. And he asked you guys to have a look. There were rumors of ghosts, maybe the mansion being haunted. And you guys have a little look around, and you discovered it was just a stray goblin who had come in from the wild and taken up residence in the attic, and you dealt with a little goblin and set it free into the wild again, as you do with goblins. And as a reward, the relieved nobleman, he showed you everything in the loft in the attic and said, "You can take one thing from here." And most of it was dusty, old junk. But in one corner, you guys noticed a nice ornate bottle. And it looked like perhaps a bottle of some kind of vintage. Can everyone give me a straight up intelligence roll on roll 20?
I like to, but I'm not on roll 20 yet.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not there. Have you got a leg to it yet?
She has, but there seems to be a little bit of an issue of her trying to get in, so I'm just trying to sort that out.
Sure. Well, do you have any physical dice? Let's see. So Therark, his intelligence roll is there. Hevrox is there.
1 second.
So that would be a 15 with good old, not digital dice.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay.
That's cool. I mean, if we need to run without digital dice, that's all good with me. So we've got a 15, a 13, a 21, and a 21. Okay. So you guys lift you kind of look at the bottle as you're kind of looking around at other things that you might be interested in. Therark, you lift the bottle and you kind of like wipe some of the dust off, and you can tell that it says bottle of gin, but without reading it or paying too much attention, you kind of like decide to unstopper it and take a little sip to see what this is like without anyone else seeing you. And there's a flash, You disappear, and the bottle is left spinning on the ground. And the rest of you realize that Theroch, whatever happened, there's some kind of magic going on here, and he's been sucked into this bottle. And one by one, you decide to follow him in and help him out. And you find yourselves tossed through a cloud and a storm of lightning and thunder and rain. And suddenly you appear in some sort of room under a giant glowing blue crystal. And this room is quite large, and it has a few doors, and you do a little bit of exploration, and you find that one of the doors leads outside. And as you go outside, you notice, to your surprise, that you're no longer in Minehill. You are in what appears to be some kind of collection of floating islands in the middle of the sky. You're in a different plane of existence altogether. And you find a little inscription. It's kind of worn on a rock nearby, and it says something about the chain of lightning. And it describes there's some sort of inscription there, but it's all worn off and it's very difficult to see. This place seems to be very old. There are no buildings as far as you can tell, but you can gradually make your way through the different islands. They're connected by vines, a la James Cameron's Avatar. The floating rocks, things you can sort of climb onto. And you eventually come to this one humongous island that all these other little ones appear to be attached to. And you reach the big island, and you walk inside, and as you do so, the portal behind you closes. It's like solid rock and stone stoppers the door that you just came through.
Sorry, I
And
just wait.
no worries. So now you guys, having to get there, you had to go through some trials. You bumped into a few air elementals that sort of like weren't too kind to you. You maybe came across a few harpies. You saw a few very dangerous looking, humongous creatures, colossal, out in the distance. And you were relieved to get inside this island. But it had a little side door. And you went in there, and it's like a little room full of items and bits and pieces. And there's also a car door leading deeper into the island. You have not gone deeper into the island through the car door. You guys decided to take a long rest in this little side room. And it has a few magic items, some armor, and things like that. You guys wake up from your long rest. You feel a little refreshed. However, you also find that it's a little hard to breathe. The air seems very thin around here. So how about we describe ourselves a little bit for those watching, starting from the top.
So, Sarok, as everybody could see in the first situation, is a half-orc barbarian, a little bit small-minded, you can say, and very interested also in everything liquid, which explains why he has to try out this or get a sip of this old, very fascinating bottle, I think. But actually, you can describe him as a bear, which is also very friendly, you can say. And it's a mixture. If he is in a fight, he can be very gruesome, but actually, he can be very nice from time to time.
So I'm Olenka Jäger. I'm a priestess of Eldef, the goddess of peace and water and life. And if you look at me, everything is screaming water. My skin is lightly blue, my hair is the color of sea foam, and I wear flowing robes in the color of the deep sea. I'm a Genasi, so I'm born of a djinn and a human. And I'm a very peace-loving and friendly person, but I can be angry like the sea if you hit my friends.
Ooh.
I'll go next.
Go for it.
I'm Xanthia Gallandal. I'm a half-elf draconic sorcerer. Xanthia is born from nobility. She would be incredibly charismatic, about 6 foot tall, long flowing robes, very interested in fire and the elements. So anything to do with amassing more power is something that she'd be interested in.
And I'm Hevrock Hardhelm. He's a armor artificer. So the first thing you notice about him is he's wearing a strange suit of armor that seems to be powered by electricity and magic, and it looks like a yeti, and it's made of black armor. He's a particularly charismatic dwarf, quick to make friends, even quicker to make enemies if they say the wrong thing. Yeah, he likes hitting things with his hammer.
The best kind of dwarf. Okay, so thanks for that. We got a bit of a feel for what you guys are running. So you wake up in this room. You're a little relieved to be indoors. It was very disorienting for some of you being out in the open, and it was even strange. Like some of the islands outside seemed like they were upside down. You maybe seen a few flying creatures, but they weren't always flying the way you expected them to, and it's very difficult to tell which way is up and which way is down. And it just wasn't very. Your mind struggled to just deal with whatever was going on around you. It didn't seem logical. But being inside, it's a relief, and you're rested. However, like I said, the air is a little thinner in here. It's difficult to breathe, a lot more so than where you're from. So everyone, give me a Constitution saving throw. So, Xanthia and Hevrock. So Olenka and Thurark, you kind of you're struck. You wake up and you kind of like want to take a deep breath, but you realize you have to breathe deeper than normal. But you're kind of okay. Xanthia and Hevrock, however, you kind of just your breath seems really short. No matter how much you try to breathe, it feels like that you maybe didn't sleep as well as you would have because of that, and you gain 1 level of exhaustion each as you struggle to adapt to this new environment. So you're in this room. It's maybe 10 by 10 feet. It's not a big room. It looks like some kind of armory. There aren't any lights as such in here, but there in this room in particular do seem to be a few glowing crystals. They're blue, and they are emitting a very soft, gentle pulse. And you can sort of see it's almost like dim light. It's not daylight or anything, but you can tell that it's an armory. There are some old suits of armor, old swords, racks of broken bits and pieces, some tools. Most of it is worn. There's a little barrel with some bits and pieces in it as well in the corner. And yeah, what do you guys want to do?
Take a look around.
Yeah, I'd immediately be interested by old suits of armor. He begins rummaging through them, see if he can find anything useful.
Okay.
I also look around and said, "Whoa, that was a sip. Oh, where the heck are we?"
I have no idea. Are you all right?
Mm.
You look a little pale, I think.
Hmm.
Are you hurt?
I'm not really
No.
used to the air here. It's a little thin.
It is hard to breathe.
It's like you've climbed a mountain too fast. It's strange.
Or I stood up too quick, maybe.
Bit bit discombobulating. Things floating around, being upside down. Strange.
So
Did you see?
got
Yeah, did you see what happened? I just can't remember. I took a sip and then I woke up here.
Couldn't put the bottle down, could you? You had to drink that.
I loves the liquor too much, that one.
Think it was good, but it must be strong that I passed out so quickly. You should have tried it.
We did. And that's because we tried to follow you. You were gone after you took this zip.
Where are we?
We're
Where did
in
we
this
end up?
bottle.
We jumped
I
into
didn't.
this unknown after you.
I just remembered to take a sip and yeah, I can't remember, but
So the bottle took a zip of you, to put it that way.
Aye.
in a bottle.
We are in the bottle. That's kind of cute, like my grandfather. He was in this little bottle with a ship inside.
Only that's inside a bottle, but how do you get these armory and things in a bottle that doesn't fit? Or very weird.
Wibbly
And I look
wobbly
around.
magic stuff, typically, is how I explain that. Yeah. Wibbly wobbly
Must be.
magic stuff. Anyway, have you
Mm.
seen this? And I hold up a piece of armor. Have I found anything cool?
Olenka, give me a history check.
You mean Havrock?
No, that's
No.
Olenka. Hevrock, anyone looking around at the armor or anything else can give me an investigation check. So Olenka, you kind of you being off the sea, you've heard of like other planes where it is just sea. And maybe it's a mythological thing or a legend for your people that it's just sea and nothing else. And it's something your people talk about in stories. And you get the feeling that, there might be other planes, such as that's just air or storms and maybe other elements. And just sort of piecing things together, you think maybe this is something like that. That's where you guys now are.
Ooh, I think this bottle is some kind of portal, or it's holding another realm. Um,
You've heard of this before?
I've heard of different realms. My people talk about realms that are only ocean and sea everywhere where you look, and storms. And I think this is something similar.
Great. Okay.
Okay, let's see. Investigation wise, with the history check, Therock,
Yeah.
I'll go with the first one with a 10.
Yeah.
You kind of don't really.
I'm not interested in history.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind. You're still thinking about the bottle.
Yeah. It was an old bottle.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Hevrock had a look around, lifted up some armor. Hevrock, you notice a piece of armor you're looking at. It's actually quite rusted around the edges. It looks like this stuff's been here for a long time, and even the stuff that is in better condition, it's not really. It's just standard fare. It's nothing like you have a nice weapon. It's like a step down, or maybe even two steps down from what you already have. However, you do find a shield in the corner under a pile of loose bits of armor, and you because you're sort of familiar with items wrought with magic and metal, you can tell that this is some kind of magical shield that might lend you some kind of boon or some kind of advantage.
Oh, it would seem that like I found the chocolate eclair perfectly placed on top of the trash pile. Aha! And he just starts rotating it
Me
around,
too.
looking at it,
To
investigating
find
it.
that kind of thing.
Zan. Zanfia notices they're in the barrel. It also looks like it's trash, but you find like 3 arrows, and the arrows have like, instead of pointed tips on the end, they have, it's like a little flame, and they're actually red, and they do appear to be just unusual. They're just normal arrows that we'd use in a longbow, but they appear to be different in some way. Very, very sharp, despite everything else here being old and worn. And you also notice out of the corner of your eye a pile of powder in one corner. And upon further inspection, you notice it isn't just one pile of powder, it is several piles. It's like there are a few urns that have been cracked open, and powder has poured out of these urns. There are 4 of them, and you have white powder, red powder, blue powder, and brown powder.
They have any magical properties that I can detect?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh. Okay.
You can tell that there is something magical about it.
Okay. Okay. This powder looks interesting, guys.
Because we look at that, and I try and cast. Is it Identify? Ritually?
Okay. Does that take some time?
Yeah, it takes 10 minutes and a
minutes.
minute, so 11 minutes total.
Awesome. So you guys wait a little bit longer. You're kind of just getting your bearings again, looking around to see if there's anything else interesting. Hevrock, you identify these as each color is relating to an element. So white appears to be air or lightning in nature. Red is fire. Blue is water. And brown is earth. And they give off a faint essence of these elements. They don't appear to be anything that you could use to any practical or great effect, as far as you're aware. But you do feel that they're giving off the essence of their element, their respective elements.
And they're contained within urns themselves?
The urns, the 4 urns are up against in the corner in a line, and they're cracked open in various stages of being broken, and the powder sort of like spilled out onto the ground.
I have a bunch of empty vials, so he just sort of leans down and attempts to scoop a few different amounts of them inside some empty glass vials that he keeps.
Okay. So you do that, you collect those 4 kinds of powder, and you notice
so I don't explode?
No, watch this space.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, exactly. You notice it's really strange. The powder, it doesn't mix. Normally, like powder like this would you mix it together, and it just all becomes like one of the same. But this is like all the powder seems to want to stick together, which is unusual. But you get your vials, you pop stuff into it, and you now have powder. Apart from those things, you guys don't really notice anything out of the ordinary.
I'm wondering, we needed this bottle to get here. The bottle was a door and a key to this plane. Perhaps we need another magical item to get out of here.
Well, we know what's that way, and there's another door at the end of the corridor. Maybe we should take it, see where it leads.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, nothing else to go or.
I've scanned this place pretty well. I can't see a bottle of gin laying about.
Okay, what is your marching order as you go through this tunnel? As you walk into the tunnel, you notice that it is pitch black. There's no light guiding the way here, the way there were little crystals in the previous room. Anyone with dark vision can see with dim light, of course.
Is there?
Go ahead.
I mean, I have light. Can I cast light? Yeah.
If you wish to do so, yeah.
So I'll cast light so that everybody can see.
Okay. So you cast light, and it lights the way. This corridor, it's pretty long. You can see there is something at the far end, but it's quite a distance away. You notice that it's just bare stone walls. They're carved very accurately as like just in a square almost. It's like very, very straight. For stone. Normally, stonework would be a little bit off. You might know this Hevrock, being a dwarf, and normally we have seams. But whoever carved this, it was almost like it was carved by some kind of powerful magic. But the walls are bare, and you guys continue along with the light helping guide the way. What is the marching order?
I'm willing to be up at the front if that helps.
I'd like to
Okay.
be somewhere in
Gotta-
the middle so I could reach
Yeah,
everyone with my healing spells.
Okay.
I will look that nobody is falling us in the back. So
Okay. So let's
Okay.
say Hevrock, Olenka, Xanthia, and then Thurrock at the back. Okay. How do you proceed down this strangely symmetrical corridor?
It would look to me. I have this feature from my race. It's called Stone Cunning. So it's whenever you make an intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, you're considered proficient in the history check, and you double bonuses and such. But it looks to me like I say to the rest of the people, it looks to me like this sort of place has been carved. Could be maybe there's some sort of trap about. I mean, someone's going to leave a bottle of gin that teleports you thousands of miles. Used to say this place isn't trapped, so I'll give it a once over as I move along.
Okay. So I would say
I take out of my pocket an extendable 10-foot pole, just start sort of tapping it against the ground,
Awesome.
seeing what there is ahead,
all
keeping an eye
right.
out for any sort of like stuck up different pieces of rock that rise above one another where they're no longer flush. Looks like it could be a set off for a trap or something like that.
Okay.
Pressure plate, that's the word I'm looking for.
Awesome. Okay, so you go on for quite some time. Just several minutes pass by, and you thought maybe you would start to see something at the end of the tunnel, like it would get closer to something, but it hasn't changed at all until you do actually notice your pole does kind of like scratch against something, some sort of inconsistency on the ground, which is weird because it's so smooth everywhere else. Give me a let's say an investigation check, and we can add your bonus onto that.
Sure.
Okay, well it's over 20 anyways. All right, so yeah, you feel it vibrating in your hand, the pole, and you look down across, and you notice that it's actually touching. There's some sort of line running the whole way around the corridor, along the ceiling, down the walls, across the ground, and it's got some sort of like wavy patterns going in the whole line, and it's like they're carved into the rock, very, very low relief. And your pole bumped as it started going over them, but it hasn't gone over the line. It's kind of still in the middle.
I said, everyone, hold up. I think we see something ahead here. Maybe, I don't know. And I reach into my pocket and I take out a ball bearing. And I just chuck it
Okay.
up the corridor.
As the ball bearing goes past the line, a bolt of lightning comes out of nowhere,
Oh,
and it explodes in the dust.
Oh, right. So, yeah, there could be traps, right? Does it look deactivated now? Was it humming before? Is it not humming now?
Let's say with your investigation check, there was no hum.
Mm.
But there is also nothing to indicate that it is or is not activated.
I looked at my friends. Well, I've got 999 more ball bearings. Any ideas?
Throw them.
Take out another one, throw it down the hallway.
Okay, another lightning bolt. Boom! Echoes down the corridor and
Ooh.
flashes right before you as your ball bearing is pulverized.
I think this suit of armor is pretty conductive. Any ideas?
Should be some way to deactivate this. I can't imagine this if someone is not if someone is living here, they don't want to get electrocuted every time they walk through this corridor. So, does anyone know how traps like these work?
Can we do like a detect magic or anything to see?
Try
Mhm.
that.
Is that just an Arcana check?
You can give
It's
me
a
an Arcana
spell.
check if you it is a spell if you have the spell as well, which will succeed automatically rather than a check.
Okay, no, I don't actually have detect magic. So an Arcana check would probably be the best way to go.
Go ahead, give me the roll. We'll see what happens. Oh, okay. you people are rolling really well today. Okay,
Good
so
rolls. Back it up.
yeah. Right, so Zan, Via, you Kendall, you run your hands over these weird wavy lines, and you're really careful not to go too far over because you know what happens if you do that. And you do detect some kind of faint magic, and it's definitely related to air or lightning. And you're getting the same feeling off the magic around here that you got off the white dust that Havrock put in his vial.
So I'm feeling like I'm getting the same feeling from the powder that we picked up. So maybe that powder has something to do with disabling whatever trap this is.
All right, we'll try that. And I rummage around, take it out, unstopper it, and sort of grab a pinch of it, and gingerly sprinkle it towards it.
Okay. So some of the powder sort of slowly falls onto the squiggly lines, and you notice it almost disappears, and there's a very faint light all of a sudden. The wavy lines all around, the inscriptions, they light up quite brightly, and then it goes away, leaving you guys with just Zanvia's light, and you notice that the wavy patterns are also gone now.
Want to get your big stick out and try and
Success, aye. Same
try and-
again.
Yeah.
Wow, good job. Smart thinking. And I extend the pole again, and just sort of tap it against the floor and keep gingerly moving forward.
Okay, so you're relieved as you step across where the wavy lines were to find that there is no reaction, and you guys continue along. You continue along your way again, about roughly the same distance from the room and the first trap, as it were, and you find the same thing with another line. Only the wavy lines look different, and you repeat the process with the different powders until you get to the last one, which wasn't actually a trap. It was just there were wavy lines, but there was also an end to the corridor, and it was just rock. And as you sprinkled the brown powder, the rock sort of melted almost as if by some kind of sorcery and shifted, and not like it was molten or anything, just like it was somehow liquefied beyond logic, and it formed into like a hole, giving you guys quite an impressive view. So you look out onto some sort of cavern, and it is actually lit by the same kind of crystals you like when you first arrived here. There were these giant crystals above you in the first room you found yourselves in that were glowing, much bigger than the smaller ones you've seen in other places. And you see there are little islands flying about this cavern, and they've got these huge glowing crystals under them. And they're kind of just very lazily kind of bobbing about in the air, different angles and things. And there's about a dozen of them you can see. There's some really far away, showing how big this cavern really is. And they're kind of like lighting up the cavern fairly well. And you can tell before you, there are steps going down into this bowl-shaped cavern. And there's like a walkway that goes quite a distance, and it reaches like a pillar, and the pillar is really tall and really wide, and you can't really tell anything else from this distance right now. But to each side of the walkway, there is like a mist, and the walkway is like cutting through this mist. And dotted around the mist, there appear to be silhouettes of like piles or groups of something. And as you look to down closer, you notice there are some piles closer to you guys, and it looks like they're piles of treasure. Like you kind of see as one of these floating islands passes above you guys and gives off some light closer to you. There's like gold and silver, maybe platinum catching and glinting with that light. You see some sorts of nice armor, like weapons jutting from it. And some of the weapons don't look great. Some of them look like they might be magical by nature, but these things are all like pretty deep within the mist. So you guys are maybe about 35, 40 feet up, and the steps go all the way down into this bowl under the walkway, and then it leads ahead with these kind of piles in the mist on either side. What do you want to do?
I slap Therok on the back and say, "Oh, your drinking's paid off, son. We're in the money."
Yeah, I'm still astonished how huge this bottle is. Whatever.
I think I don't think I have the time to explain why that's wrong, and maybe I don't know enough about magic or science. Anyway, we're in the money.
Don't get too
Yeah.
carried away.
What
You
do you
know,
mean?
we don't want to just be picking up anything that we find. We don't know who it belongs to yet.
With these great traps or something, there must be something worth it.
Oh, but
be
it is
careful, there
really
could be more
tempting.
traps.
Oh, but it's really tempting. Look at it; it's right there.
I
could
know.
just scoop it up.
I know, but you know, it obviously belongs to somebody. Nobody would have trapped where we were for no reason.
Yeah, but if somebody doesn't want us here, why is such a magic trick that if you drink something or try to drink something, you get here? So it must be his wish that we are here, or?
That is also
This is-
dangerous. What does he want with us?
Perhaps this cute little goblin just stole this magical bottle from a very powerful magic user, whatever, perhaps even a demon. I don't know. And no, we ended up here.
Yeah.
Well, you all make good sense. Zan, you've known me a little longer. If I suddenly reach for it or something, restrain me. I don't know
I'll
if I'll
slap
be
you
able to
across the
help
head.
myself. I think I might need it.
Don't make me use my wooden spoon.
Ancient air armor. I mean, who knows what they know? And he just starts leaning towards the treasure.
I'm just going to grab Hevrock by the scruff of the neck.
Ah!
No,
Oh, all right.
Xen,
Yeah.
do you need a leash or something like that?
I might do. Maybe.
Give me a perception roll for Hevrock.
All right.
Okay,
Oh.
nice. So the nearest bit of treasure that you're looking at, it kind of is like 30 feet, maybe even further away. Again, distance and stuff seems to be not what it normally is in this area. And you know, it's within the mist. And as you lean forward, you notice so the mist sort of like almost sensed you and started drifting a little bit closer. And you get a whiff of sulfur as Xanthia pulls you back.
Here, maybe it is a demon. It's starting to smell like hell in here. Whew,
Oh, really?
sulphurous, like farts.
Then we
Do
should
we
find
all
a way
smell
to
the
get out
same
of here.
thing and see the mist?
Yeah, now that Haverock mentions it, you kind of like if you kind of like start sniffing out toward the mist, and you're like, yeah, it's definitely rotting eggs.
Yeah.
Not nice.
And
Forgotten
you're sure
treasures.
that, and you're sure that wasn't you.
Mm, maybe it was.
It
I
could
did.
be
I did
him.
get a little excited.
It could be him. He does that sometimes. But no, seriously, keep your hands to yourself. We don't
All
know
right.
what this thing is.
Yeah, it smells like farts. I've kind of gone off it.
Yeah, let's just carry on and see what we can find.
All right,
See if we can get out of here.
Okay,
Lead the
so
way.
no way to go but forward, right?
Yep.
okay, so you guys continue. You do so, and you're kind of making sure not to touch this horrible smelling stuff on either side of you. And it's quite a long way away, but eventually you do reach this pillar, and it's when I say a pillar, it's like the size of a building in width and in height, but you can tell it does have a top. And there appears to be some sort of light up there that you notice the closer you get, and every now and then you see like a little sparks kind of coming off the edge, like there's something maybe kind of storm up there. But the walkway ends at the bottom of the pillar, and there are steps kind of winding their way around, going up in a spiral around the pillar. And they obviously lead to the top somewhere. Do you proceed up the steps?
We proceed up the steps if nobody else has an objection to that.
That sounds good.
Yeah, up it
Yes.
goes.
All right. So you guys cannot reach halfway there, and it seems to be like this thing's a lot bigger than you thought, and the going is getting tough, and the air is almost getting thinner the closer you get to the top. But you're kind of you push on, and you gradually wind your way around, and you're pretty sure you're getting closer to the top. And the closer you get to the top, the harder it does become to breathe. Give me Constitution saving throws again.
Oh, Lord.
Would me and Zan do so at disadvantage?
You guys can do it with just a normal roll.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone who got above a 10, which looks like everyone, you kind of just bear it and grit your teeth and push on and try to take a deep breath. And you do eventually wind your way around and reach a flat platform. And it's an unusual scene that sort of like spans before you. It's completely flat up here. There are like flagstones sort of sitting on the top of this giant pillar. You sort of those floating islands with the crystals. They're kind of like level with you now, almost. Some of them are a little bit up, and further down, but generally they're kind of around your level. And before you, there appears to be some kind of mini storm cloud with lightning sparking off it. Give me. You don't really need to do a perception check because it's really obvious. Also, by the steps that you guys have just climbed up from, on the first little platform that leads onto this bigger column, on the little tiny platform adjoining the steps, there is like it's a rock bench type looking thing. It's got dials, carvings on it. It's got different kinds of shapes and runes and inscriptions. Does anyone understand what languages do you all know?
I know common, draconic, elvish, primordial, and undercommon.
Okay.
Abyssal, celestial, common, and primordial.
I don't think it is Orcish, so.
Deep
Oh,
speech
no.
and dwarvish for myself.
Okay. Olenka, did you say celestial?
Yes.
Okay, so Alinka, you notice this. You recognize some of the words. It seems to be that it's kind of a language cobbled from some older tongues. Xanthia, you also notice, as Olinka points this out, there's some primordial in there, and there's something else that you guys don't recognize, but you're able to sort of cobble together between you that this is some kind of magical control device. There's what do you there? It looks like there's 3 buttons. One is on, one is off, and the other one you don't know.
We try pressing the one that we don't know and see what happens.
Sure.
But isn't it?
Okay. You press the one that you don't know, and yeah,
Wait.
so you hear a ping, and it lights up blue, and then the light disappears. And you turn around as the storm that was in the middle of the pillar before you guys sort of dissipates, and it turns into a mist and sort of like glides off the edges of the pillar back down to the ground below. And where that lightning storm was, there is a genie before you. And this genie, let me just quickly change the screen.
Oops.
Let me know if you can see that.
Yes.
Yeah, so you see there
Yeah,
those
yes.
floating crystals that are glowing to either side. You guys are standing at the bottom where you came up on the smaller platform that's joined to the bigger platform. And let me just change something quickly. You also see there's some sort of light glowing now after pressing that button at the far end, the opposite end to where you guys are. But between you and that, there is, up there, there is this thing. And would any of you know anything about genies?
Well, I'm Genasi, so I think I do.
Yeah, you do. Okay, you guys, you would know about genies. You would know actually quite a bit about them, and looking at this one, it's a lot bigger than what you would normally expect a genie to be. It's almost like in human terms, this would be like a giant. So this is like a giant, giant djinn, and it's just sitting there with clouds around its base, and it's staring at you all. What do you want to do?
I would like to speak to him. Greetings to you. We stumbled into your domain. We didn't mean to disturb you. We just want to go home. I try this in common. If he won't react to this, I would try Celestia, because that was one of the languages used on this device.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
He
and
looks at you. He lifts his head slowly, and he opens his mouth, and it's like it's almost like he's moving his jaw, like he hasn't moved it in a long time. And he says, "Where is home?"
outside the bottle.
Bottle.
Outside of your domain here. We come from another plane.
What plane?
It's Theron?
So you see, kind of his eyes look up as he's trying to figure out what you're saying, and he says, "Faerun. Yes, I have heard of this place.
The place where all elements exist,
You
each by
s-
another side.
Yes, all of the elements. Yes, elements." And as you mention the elements, his eyes glow all of a sudden, like he's realized something, or he's remembered something he's forgotten, and he looks at you and says, Well, yes, elements. I remember now. You must not be allowed to live. You cannot leave this place alive. No. Roll for initiative.
No.
We just wanted a cup of tea, man.
During that whole conversation, I was attempting to slip the shield off my back that I'd stolen from his realm and quietly kick it to the side.
Oh, did you guys select your tokens when you rolled for initiative?
Oh yes, I
sorry.
forgot that.
Yeah, and you should be able to control your tokens, by the way. I should have said earlier.
Yes, works. Whee!
There we go. If for any reason you're having problems
Oh my
with
God.
your token, let me know.
Should I roll again?
Yeah, so you've got to click on your token on Roll20 and then roll initiative on your character sheet, or it
Ah.
doesn't go into the little turn order on the left.
Okay,
The sheet.
I just tried to put it in, but
That's it. You got it now.
So Olink is one is there.
Yeah, but yeah.
If you just clicked on your token and so you're 19, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It's
So what
not
I'll do,
showing up.
let me see. You rolled a 19, Mark. Okay, so you rolled a 16?
16,
Okay,
right.
so what I'll do, I'll add you in manually quickly.
Okay.
So that's fine. We'll just do it that way. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, you did get 19. Sorry.
Yeah, I
get-
get 19 with a plus 3, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting
Rolled-
because you're Marcus and he's Mark. I'm getting mixed up.
Okay.
Okay, so you got a 19. What's your dexterity? Theroch.
17.
17. Okay, and that means you get to go first. So this Jin, he's taken 2 huge scimitars the size of people from his back. It looks like he's getting ready to use them.
Not good. Well, how far away are we from him? Because I'm just trying to. Is it he's very huge? So what I just consider is if I should just take my great axe out, or I think that's the best way because the crossbow will need this time, and I think it's not such a huge room, or is it?
So he's 60 feet away.
Okay, that's nothing you can say.
Yeah,
Because
it's not that.
if yeah,
You could dash that distance, but then you wouldn't have your action. But
yeah, I would just prepare and prepare with my great axe and go into the room a bit and see what he's going to do and try to see if it comes towards us, or if he's just holding his ground.
Okay, and are you preparing an action or anything, or?
Yeah, I'm ready to strike if he's coming towards us, and he is not only if he wants to use his weapons, then if that's getting clearer, I just will attack that. Yeah.
Okay, his turn then, and he does. He does move towards you guys. You kind of it's almost like he's levitating on air. There's like a cloud swirling beneath him, like a small tornado, and you see every now and then there's like a little spark of electricity or lightning coming out of it. And he's cautiously approaching you too. He's not like rushing at you or anything, but he seems very confident also. And he's looking down as he's approaching, and he points one of his blades at Hevrock,
Okay.
and he let me see. What's your AC, Hevrock?
21.
Okay. So a bolt of lightning runs down his arms and wraps around his scimitar, and from its tip of his scimitar, lightning goes boom and just forks out and goes to hit you, but you kind of like move out of the way, and it tears like a line up out of the ground, and the lightning flies out in the background and does not do anything to you.
Oh,
On his turn, he looks. You also notice he looks to the glowing crystals to either side, and then he looks back at you. And that brings us to Olenka. Olenka, you notice that as he did that, the lights expanded on the crystals, and two little lights departed from the crystals and moved roughly 30 feet closer. And you don't know if it's coming to him or coming to you. What do you want to do, Olenka?
Either way, I don't like it. I go on my knees and pray to my goddess. Please help us in this time of need. And I call for. Where's my character sheet? Character sheet, hello. When this Windows open, just a second, I have it.
Please?
No. I call my guardian of faith.
Okay. So
I would like to place him. I think here, in front of the gin.
okay. So what I'll do, I'll just do a little square or circle. You should be able to draw, but I'll do it. So where do you want to do it? Do the little echo for me again? Was it around
I would
here?
place him here, so he
There.
can attack the gin.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, I will call my spiritual weapon
Okay. So
on 3rd level. And then I'm done.
okay. So the Guardian of Faith appears by the Jinn, and it attacks him. And you see the Jinn sort of like he kind of cries out as this light, celestial light, flashes before him, and he appears to have taken some amount of damage as he recoils from that attack. Your spiritual, what does your spiritual weapon look like? Out of curiosity, what?
My spiritual weapon is it's a mace.
It's a mace. Okay. So let's see. Are you with the so 60 feet? But you rolled 15 to hit, and you kind of like the mace kind of came in, but he kind of recoiled from the spirit, the guardian of faith, and as he did so, it caused the mace to just about miss. Hevrock.
So I look to the genie and look around all my teammates and say, I think you could use some help, and I will cast aid on my friends. A bunch of ball bearings are scattered across the ground that I throw, and they transform into small little mechanical devices, and they scuttle up onto each of your shoulders and provide you with a temporary shield. You all gain each target's hit point maximum current hit points increases by 5 for 8 hours. So you all get 5 extra HP.
Everyone gets an extra 5.
And I'm going
Anything
to
else?
move myself. So let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 up to the front of the gin. And I'll use my bonus action to... What on earth was that called again? My armor model is a guardian model, and basically as a bonus action I can make a shield appear around myself and I gain a few extra more temporary hit points.
Okay, awesome.
And that's my turn.
Cool. Xanthia, what do you want to do?
I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go and cast that. And then I am going to move to just about here. Is that far enough?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm... That's pretty much it for me, isn't it? Because, yeah.
Mage Armor's an action, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have a bonus action you want to use or something like that.
Can I ready a counter spell?
Only as an action.
Is that a...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's full action. All right, yeah, no, I'm good.
Cool beans. Okay. Thurok, the half orc.
Yeah.
You're up.
So actually, as after I've seen that he tries to hit us, and not only that talking is over, I will just try to attack him. And yeah, even though I'm not sure if he's physical or not, so I just will try it out. Now I just will see if that works.
Are you gonna? Is it a melee attack or a ranged attack?
No, a melee attack. So
Cool.
I would just move forward to him, something like that.
Cool. Yeah.
And now I just try to. No, with a great axe, but that is not as good as I could have imagined it.
Yeah. So that's the damage. Let me see.
No, that's I see that I'm just trying out if that works, because that was damage and not attack. I see, no?
Yeah.
That was I just then I have to.
I think you have to click on the name of the weapon, and then I think it gives you an oh yeah, there we go.
That was the right way.
Awesome.
That was the right way.
That was the right way. And as you do that, you slash him with your great axe and roar at him as you do so. And you're surprised, actually. You kind of like strike at the wind, but you're surprised at how solid the wind feels as the axe carves through it. And you're also surprised at the genie's reaction. He kind of cries out in distaste and pain. And he was looking at Hevrock with his 2 scimitars, but he's now turned his attention to you. But you definitely hurt him.
So not air only, so physical.
More physical than maybe you thought.
Yeah. I'm astonished because I first was sure that the axe and the steel wouldn't hurt such a creature, but well, if that's it's the case, so it's I'm happy about that.
And he's not happy.
I can imagine that.
Is there anything else you want to do before your turn?
So the only thing I would do is that, if possible, I would try to be on the front position to let the others being able to attack and not being attacked by him physically. But
cool.
He is huge, so I don't think it will work completely. But I drew his attention, so I will make use of it.
100%. Okay, so it brings us around to his turn again, and he looks around at you, Thurok, and he says, "You will pay for that." And
you started it.
About this.
And he kind of like cocks his eyes at you, and lifts one of his scimitars into the air and starts spinning it. And as he spins it, he starts creating like a whirlwind, and the wind starts whipping up at your clothing and your armor and at your faces. And the whirlwind sort of like it takes like a physical form, and then it sort of drifts around the side of him and comes down toward you guys. Give me a strength check.
Everyone?
No, just those Hevrock and Thurk.
Okay.
I as he's making these actions, I can sort of see this coming. So I'm going to
Yeah.
use Flash of Genius, and it uses my reaction. And when you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes an ability check or saving throw, you can use your reaction to add +4 to that roll.
Okay.
So I'm going to
So you're
add
doing that
4
for your
to it.
roll?
Yeah,
Okay.
for my own roll. Because I'm kind of not strong.
Okay, that brings you up to 20. Okay, so you kind of like, you see this coming and you steel yourself for it, and being this hardy, stout dwarf, this wind does whip, it's kind of the edge of it catches you and it almost drags you in, but you pull yourself back out again. A Thurark, on the other hand, it's sort of like the full brunt of this thing does strike you, and you feel your feet lift off the ground suddenly, and you're now flying around in this like whirlwind that's 30 foot tall, and you are caught up in it and are considered restrained, and it moves. You kind of like your head sort of like pops out every now and then, and
Yeah.
it's very hard to see where you are, but you kind of like get a feel for it, and it starts to move you towards the edge of the pillar, and it stops you there.
Yeah. So if somebody hears that, I don't think, because the wind makes a noise, something, so frightened of me or what?
And as it's sort of bringing you over to deposit you off the edge of the pillar, these blue things move closer. One of them goes towards you, Xanthia, and one goes closer to the genie. And you guys notice another two pop out from the crystals and move towards you guys. Olenka.
I follow Xanthia, and I use my action to control my spiritual mace to attack the djinn.
Go for it.
Where can I roll this?
$16. So it just about hits.
Great, then does damage.
Yep. And okay, it gets hit up the side of the face with this mace. Totally not expecting it, being distracted, and he looks around. He doesn't look worried or anything, but he seems a little bit surprised. He wasn't expecting this much of a challenge.
And I use my bonus action to bless my friends.
Okay. They get a D4, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, is that your turn?
And that was my turn. My spiritual guide or guardian, I think he could attack too.
Yeah, I think I need to
turn.
make a dexterity saving throw or take another 20 radiant damage. He misses. Oh, okay. And he takes that damage and is not one bit happy about it. And he's kind of looking around to see what's going on, where all this is coming from. And he hasn't really figured it out. Hevrock, your turn. Xanthia, you're up after Hevrock.
Choices. I
Punch him in the
think
face.
I'll scatter out. I'll reach into my bag of ball bearings again, throw one either side of me, and they transform and project a very lifelike image of myself twice. I'll cast mirror image. And I think that's my turn. I don't think there's anything I can do for my bonus action. No, I'm just going to taunt him for my bonus action. Come on, you bugger!
Okay. Awesome. Zan, what do you do?
I am going to use my meta magic. So I'm going to use Quicken Spell, which allows me to cast a spell that has casting time of 1 action and spend 2 sorcery points to change the casting time to 1 bonus action.
Cool.
So in that case, I'm going to use I'm going to cast Scorching Ray on him.
Go for it.
So normal roll.
Okay, so you rolled a 15, and you kind of like fire it off, and it almost hit him dead center, but just whatever way the wind moved around him, it actually didn't hit anything. Your ray blasts off into the distance.
Okay, and as my bonus action, I'm going to cast a firebolt at him.
Go for it.
1 second.
Do you normally roll?
Did I click the wrong thing?
No, I'm just thinking for Scorching Ray. Do you not roll it 3 times? Am I wrong there?
Yeah, you make a
One
ranged
for
spell
each.
attack for each ray, so you get 2 more chances to hit him.
Yeah, you get,
right.
Yeah, you can. So let's go with the firebolt anyway.
Yeah. My bad.
So the firebolt. So
Have you used my blessing?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the blessing might change things.
D4.
In that case, the Scorching
I've always
Ray does hit.
Nice.
And
Thank you,
he
Eldef.
takes-
Thank you.
Thank your gods.
Yes, Eldef.
Yes.
So perfect. Okay, so you blast him with 1 Scorching Ray. Your firebolt misses for sure, but you can fire another 2 rays.
So let me just do that. Sorry. 1.
Okay, that one misses. And that one misses.
Oh Lord.
Oh lord. However, the first one did take a nice wee chunk of damage off him.
Okay.
Okay. Thurok, give me a strength saving throw. Okay.
Don't.
You are tossed over the edge of the pillar.
Farrock,
me a-
no!
Yeah.
Give me a dexterity saving throw. Okay. So you're tumbling down this thing, but you manage to sort of like bounce a few times. You manage to like get your axe out and scrape down the side of the pillar, and you land on the steps. And you stop at the steps, but you take let's see, you take 11 bludgeoning damage in the process. However, you're now on the steps again, and you can, with a dash, you can get back to the top of the steps to here.
Okay, then I will try to do that.
Okay, and so you've used your action and your movement to do that.
Yeah.
Is that your turn then?
Yeah, that's. I think I can't do anything more than that right now. But I'm back again, and this time you won't get me off the edge so easily.
He looks at you and says, "Challenge accepted." And it's his turn, and he's going to take 2 swipes at you, Havrock.
Okay. So the first one / roll.
Oh yeah, your mirror image.
I am mirror imaged. So a 6 or up. I did do that. It hits one of my things. It has an AC of 11. What did you roll?
Okay, so he rolled a. Where's his scimitar? He rolled a 21.
Oof! One of them disappears from beside me. There's now 3
Okay.
versions of me instead of 4.
Okay, and he strikes with his other and does a 24 to hit.
Okay. So yep, again hits a another mirror image of me. Poof! It
Okay,
disappears
so-
and puff.
They're both gone puffs of. All right, and he's kind of looks a little confused. These creatures, they one goes toward Olinka, one goes toward Zan, this one goes towards you, and that one doesn't quite get far enough. They're going to attack you guys. Olinka, it tries to hit you with an 11. I'm assuming that misses. And dear, the one that tried to hit Hevrock rolled a 1.
Ooh.
Okay.
And dearie me, okay, those were terrible rolls. I need new dice. That was all a mess. And that other one is going to try and attack you, Hevrock, but it's a 3. Come on, right? Okay, there looks little sparks of lightning going everywhere, but nothing's happening. Olenka, your turn. Hevrock, you're up next.
All right.
My guardian will attack the Jinn again.
Okay, and he
Needs to make this.
this time he made his save.
Then I call my spiritual weapon to my side to attack this bluish thingy in front of me.
Okay, roll for attack. I forgot to say, you notice that a bunch more of these little things popped out of.
20.
Oh, it is
Ooh, nice.
gone. Your spiritual weapon smashes this thing out of existence. Havrock. Oh, was there another something else you wanted to do? Sorry, Olenka.
I get a bonus action, but I don't know what to do with this. So it was my turn.
Okay, Havrock. Or no, yeah, Havrock.
Okay then. Hevrock holds one of his arms up like this, and a small little compartment unfolds, and he fires off a magical missile at level 2, trying to target each of the separate creatures, like the small dudes, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call them.
They're all in range.
Let's see, I make 3, so at upcast at level 2, I make 4 of them, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll hit all of them apart from this one at the top right with a
Okay.
single dart. Bear with me. Magic missile. There we go. So they all take 4 damage each.
They all take. Oh, okay. In that case, they all pew 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 pew, and they all flash with a little thing of lightning out of
Ooh.
existence.
And that's my turn.
Cool. Zanfia and
Hey.
Therak, you're up next.
I'm going to attack the Jinn again. And this time I'm going to cast my 3rd level magic missile.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all going to go for him.
Okay.
So I rolled these 4 times, right?
We could do what Havrock did. You roll 1, and
Okay.
we'll take each missile as that's what it did. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay. So, whoops, did that go?
Oh, ouch. So how many of them did that roll?
So that was,
First level, 3 darts.
yeah, but this was a 3rd level.
Yeah, so you add 2 to it. Is it 5
2 to
darts
it,
altogether?
Yeah.
So what's a
Additional
25?
2 darts. So 5
20.
darts.
Okay, 5 by 5. 25. That's right. My math thing is right here, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, it's like you kind of look at him with your magic missiles, like a little machine gun, and they all strike home, and he kind of like stumbles back a little bit, and he's looking quite like he's looking around like he's in trouble. Thurok, your turn.
Yeah. I just prepared to run forwards and again to strike him with a heavy smash.
Okay.
And I don't know if but I think to get to him is also one action, isn't it?
No, you're
Because I'm
within
here?
range. You can get to him.
Okay. Because then first off, I will just try to strike him once, and I would say that is a good strike.
Ooh. 15. 14 damage. Whew, okay. Right. So he, as you do that, he kind of like stumbles back a bit, and he almost drops one of his swords. He looks like he's weakened. He
Yeah.
says, "It has been long since I have fought. I must regain my strength. This is not the last you will see of Jinadora." And he kind of like slashes down the side of the air with his sword, and like a crackling light appears, and almost like something opens up, like a doorway. You can't really see inside it. It appears to be just all magical, and it's almost like he turns into air, and all the air just gets sucked in, like it's some kind of suction device. And you also see this little blue dude get sucked in with it, and pop, it closes, and he's gone. And as he disappears, you notice that the glyph up ahead glows even brighter with his presence gone.
I didn't start fighting. What the hell?
Right, who pressed the button? Own up.
That was me.
Well, I still
Was
got the shield.
tempted.
Are you hurt?
I'm good. I'm
I'm
good.
good.
We're all good.
So, should we try and, make our way out, or?
Hopefully this gets us out.
Let's have a look at this bluish glowing thing over there.
Yeah, so you guys approach the glyph on the ground, and you can't tell it's a glyph of transportation.
Oh. I'm pretty sure this is for teleporting people, moving them vast distances. This will be the one. And I hop on.
I
hop on.
You forgot your shield.
Oh!
Too late.
He's already.
I'll take it for you.
Okay, Olega grabs it. She runs back, gets the shield, runs to the portal. You all jump in, and it's like there's flashes of blue, pop, 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 pop. And again, you guys are back in the attic, and you look down, and you see the bottle of gin is down there. And Thurok, you pick it up, and you notice the first time you picked it up, it gave off a bit of a sparkle, like there was lightning in it or static electricity, and it was like it had like a blue liquid or gas in it. But now it's sort of gradually turning to red, and instead of static, you feel heat pulsing from it. And you guys are standing in the attic again. You have returned from the elemental plane.
Please put the cork on this thing.
Yeah. To be continued.
Thanks, guys.
That was super fun.
Thank you very much.
Our time is up. So that was brought to you from Penny Dragon Games. We have a Kickstarter bringing the Order of Elemental Chaos out on the 8th of April. So if you look up Paddy Finn on Kickstarter or Aizendores Vault of Tragic Treasure, you'll see those two books that we're putting out for folks in a few weeks' time. It says the 1st of April on that graphic. It's actually April 8th. We had to move it back a week. But yeah, anyone who's watching and wants to see a little bit more about the Order of Elemental Chaos and the various planes, feel free to come and back us, or check us out, and hopefully you can join the community and jump on board with us. But yeah, thank you everyone. It was great fun.
Thanks, everyone.
Amazing.
Great
I really
session.
liked it.
Thank you very, very
Thank
much.
you.
Ciao.